Good afternoon or evening, wherever you may find yourself. Interwebs, this is Matt Carter, another Carter's Commentaries. Hope all are well. Beautiful spring weather, yet pollen everywhere. So I'm going to assume I'm not the only one battling all the pollen around and allergies, but hope you are making time to be with family and friends and in good weather, especially here in Southeast Texas. We don't get this pleasant weather for long. It'll soon be summer from pretty much May to October, it feels like. Any event, hope the world is treating you well. I know I wanted to hit a specific verse, and I didn't really know everything I wanted to say about it. But I know I'm going to hit Romans 8, but it strikes me in a way, kind of the Jeremiah, where the Lord knows the plans for us. There's references to in the gospel about the gifts that are bestowed upon us, and I think it's got to be, from my perspective, I know how I think sometimes it's going to be oriented around good. Like, we're always looking for the good, and that isn't necessarily what the good Lord is striving for. Earlier this week, if you use the same Bible app I use, the verse of the day pops up, and it's Proverbs, and iron sharpens iron, that there's an implication there that it's going to be tough, it's going to be abrasive, and but to get that sharp knife edge, you need rough and abrasive right up against you in order to get that smooth cutting edge. So and one of my favorite secular quotes comes from Abraham Lincoln, and he's referencing getting ready to chop down a tree, and if he had 8 hours, he'd spend 6 sharpening the axe. He recognizes that preparation, that build up for the moment of is highly critical. And I know earlier this week too, I presented at our church grief share. My mom is a facilitator, and I'm blessed to be asked to present on trauma when that session comes in the semester for their grief share. And I always kind of reference, and I have in classes, if you've taken any with me, that you sometimes the more difficult things ready you for a mission God has you on. So I've always, or I can't say I've always, but I have referenced how my mental health journey, while I don't want to go back and recreate the first 6-9 months, which were so difficult and confusing and embarrassing, and all the stigma that goes. But what it did was it readied me for another stage of my life I didn't know I was going to be used for. And that all of that to get to this Romans 8:28. And this is 28 here. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. And it's in my old school paper Bible, when I get into that today in service, I had underlined that according to his purpose was one of my underlines. And it isn't about us. And I'm human. I'm selfish. I think of me first, more than I know I should, and don't always deliver that servant attitude that God has asked of me. But things are happening, even things we may not like, with a big plan to prosper us. And we may not see that prospering yet because God hasn't yet revealed it to us, but that it's for his purpose. All of this is for his purpose. I know when I go through tough times, I think it's easy to get into that. What was me? What did I do wrong? Why is this happening? I don't suspect that's a unique feeling. But when I'm deliberate and maybe working actively on meditation and prayer, or spending a little deliberate time with the Lord, maybe in journaling, that idea should, I hope, It usually does for me, but I should hope for you too, that it kind of loops you back around to this is all in God's hands. I don't control anything other than me. That is it. Everything else that's laid before me, it's about how I respond to those challenges, what I learn from those challenges, maybe how I can see God's hand in them. Sometimes later, it can be tough in the moment, especially if we're hurting. But I know I'm not the only one with struggles. I know people are out there. And if you're struggling today and you're a believer, know that all things that God is doing have some purpose in his mind that we are just not ready to see yet. And that is okay. It's upon us to rely and trust on the Lord in guiding us. And that isn't always easy to do, but you're not alone in that journey. And that's an important aspect is if you're unsure, come back to this video. I'm a doubter too. And I take a lot of kind of refuge in doubting Thomas, who, had this ability to really come in. I'm not sure what the heck is going on, kind of a struggle. And he was in the midst of Christ as one of his apostles. So if Thomas had trouble and he saw Christ every day for pretty much 3 years, us believing and having that faith without having physically seen Christ puts us in pretty strong company. So keep that faith. Know that you're loved. Lord loves you. He made you for a purpose. He's getting you ready for that purpose now. And it may be something you don't realize yet. You may be on a purpose right now, and he's getting you ready for another one. So stay strong, stay well, be loved, be safe, be blessed. I love you. The good Lord loves you. And take care of yourselves and each other.